que j'ai demandé aux conseillers si ça allait être bien.
C'était bien,
Ils ont su sortir les...
Oui, mais c'est très bien. Ils ne font pas comme ça.
Ouais, je mets derrière.
That encompassed the darkness also of Dumas, and because Mathieu and Alexandre really wanted to make it a love story, we needed to make sure that the sentiments were as large as possible. And so what there's, it wasn't so much about how can we make box office impact, it was how can we make sure that it's an event. And that,
mentioned something the other day, which is that the fact that you have this close collaboration with these guys, it enables you to take risks that you might not take if you're working with a filmmaker for the first time. Can you talk about that a little bit? Maybe give an example of something in this film that illustrates that?
Yes, it's true that working together, we've made many movies before, and then it's kind of working in family, so we can try things that I can give any of my ideas and to Alexandre and Mathieu, and if it's no good, we discuss about it, and we taking all the ideas we have, I have, they have for the music, and then we take the best. And I think it's a very important thing to make all the music for this film. That it's very rare in France to have the occasion to have the music so important in a movie, and to make this, we had to work a lot and to discuss a lot about the ideas.
So you have a book that's, depending on the font size, 600 to 1400 pages, right? You've got a 3-hour movie, okay? As I understand it, this movie is at least an hour longer than any other movie you've directed, okay? Can you talk about that? Can you talk about that extra, making something longer like that? Is that, from a creative standpoint, a different experience for you? Both as directors and also actually as, I'm curious, as a composer.
Le fait que ce soit 3 heures, donc généralement c'était
It
2
was
heures.
up to them, it would have been a 7-hour movie.
Yeah, at the beginning we had a very perfect 4-hour script.
They looked at me,
And,
they looked at me dead in the eye. It was 50 pages longer, the script. And they looked at me and said, it runs 2 hours and 20 minutes. And it's time. Anything below will be. But no, I will say, Mathieu and Alexandre are producers, directors that had written The Three Musketeers, and scriptwriters. They are only driven by their care of story. So the process was very iterative. We were in a progress to production type structure, so we knew we were going to shoot. And to give you a little bit of an anecdote, the way we set up the financing, we were not sharing a script, they were telling the story. So they would have those oral pitching sessions.
So it was 3 hours pitching sessions. It was huge.
But they had a lot of freedom in terms of how to choose, digest, exchange, and it was a process that almost lasted 8 months. Of between the first, what we call the first draft, the real first draft, and the moment we probably a 8 months iterative process.
But it was a production decision to make a 3 hours movie, because we had the feeling that for the audience We needed 3 hours to tell the story, but we were sure with Matthew and Dimitri that it was important for the audience. A 3-hour movie, it's a big adventure. It's a
The biggest decision was to make just one movie.
yeah.
That was their conviction, which is it would have been too frustrating. It was very tough in terms of decision, but they were absolutely convinced it had to be just the one movie.
I mean, it's so satisfying at the end. I have so many more questions, but they gave me the signal to wrap up. So I just want to thank you again for bringing this film here and sharing it with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, so I am back from my little French adventure, going to the American French Film Festival to see the closing night film, which was The Count of Monte Cristo. So, if you saw my any of my prior videos, the reason I was going to the festival was, one, I always wanted to go to the American French Film Festival. It's been around for 28 years. And I wanted the opportunity to gauge where I am with my French. Because I've started studying for my trip in 2026 to Paris. And I've been studying, but I realized I got a lot more studying to do. The movie was great, first off. It was just under 3 hours, but it was just beautifully made. The visuals were just, breathtaking. There were so many beautiful locations, and where they filmed was just incredible. It was just a beautiful film to watch, and I love the story. And it was really, I didn't know any of the French actors in the film, but it was very well done, I felt. I enjoyed myself. And it didn't feel like it was 3 hours. It felt like I spent more time waiting in line, because there was a long line once you got there. I bought my tickets ahead of time, but just to get into the room, there was a long line. I'm glad I got there relatively early. So it was a good time, as good a time as you can have by yourself. But I enjoyed myself, and I got to, I was able to pick up some stuff watching the film that I could understand, but when you have subtitles right there, it's really hard not to just follow the subtitles, as you're watching it. So it was a little hard to gauge how much I was, like some things just popped out and I knew what was being said, and other things I was like, what the hell are they saying? But what I found the most interesting, which it didn't even occur to me until I was there, was that a lot of the people watching the film were native French speakers. So the people in front of me and the people behind me were speaking French, and it's like, everybody kept running into people that they knew. So I got to hear kind of like just the greetings that people had, the whole kissing the cheek thing, and just recognizing I really need to, one of the things I want to focus on is building my vocabulary of French words so that I can recognize it as clearly as possible with, and I want to I want to find, I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, a French dictionary that's not like an English French dictionary with the translation, but just French, so I can try and learn words with the French definition, as part of my process of studying. Because I recognize that, and you don't think about it, but like with anybody in your own native language, people speak with, some people kind of slur their words, some people kind of have a little stutter, all this other stuff. I was recognizing, like when I was listening to one lady speak, it sounded like she was kind of like playing with the words in her mouth as she was saying. She wasn't just saying the words, she was kind of really playing with the sound. So it was just interesting kind of noticing that, and just other people, I could pick up a few conversations, but I just recognized that I am in no way ready to speak to somebody, let alone understand what they would say to me, if I tried to have a conversation. So it was a good kind of just benchmark to say, okay, I could hear a few things. It wasn't like I was completely like lost, but I recognize if I want to enjoy myself going to Paris, where they're not going to be speaking English, I want to really drill down on building my vocabulary and putting in, the work of listening to as much French as I can and speak to my dog as much French as I can, just so I make it as enjoyable experience as possible. So it was great going to this festival. I didn't get the opportunity to go see any of the shorts on Saturday because I was just busy with having gone to the Halloween thing. I needed a day of rest. So I decided not to go because tomorrow I believe, going to be going with a Buddhist friend to the Whiskey, I think it used to be the Whiskey A Go-Go or Whiskey and Sunset, to see somebody who's interested in Buddhism. And this lady wanted me to meet him. So I said I would go. So that'll be another adventure I'll have because I've never been to the Whiskey on Sunset. So I wanted to kind of just chill out and go to this screening. And it was funny because the Directors Guild, which is where the festival was held, was like a block away from my first apartment that I ever had in my life. Excuse me. It was really windy coming home. On Sunset and Fairfax, I had a studio apartment in this building that's still there. And it was just kind of weird and funny at the same time, walking past, because I parked my car over by Gardner and I decided to walk up because parking is kind of iffy in that area. So I found a parking space and I walked a few blocks and past my first apartment building, and then I went and enjoyed myself at the festival. And they have to encourage you to vote for the best film of the festival. I entered that because you have a chance of winning a free trip to Paris. So I thought, hey, can't hurt to give it a shot. And they also, when it was over, I guess one of their sponsors is Ex Nihilo. I'm not familiar with who they are, but it was a little gift bag with medicated, acne cleanser. All right. So they were a sponsor. Yeah. So okay, I guess, and face and body lotion. So yeah, so it was unexpected, but it was just fun to get out and see a part of the city and just be out in the world, mixing up with people, and being able to gauge where I am with my French was fun. So I know now and I've been putting in my work with the French, but I think I want to kind of give it an extra push just to start building vocabulary so I can get really comfortable with listening to French as much as possible. So that's it for this video. I just wanted to follow up because I did say in a previous video that I bought my ticket to see the Count of Monte Cristo, and I didn't want to skip it because one, I love the story. I love Dumas, Alexander Dumas. So it was really great to see it in French, and again, it was just fun getting out and seeing more of the city. So I will look into some other things to start checking out. But in the meantime, I'm going to get cracking with my French. So thank you for checking out this video. If you haven't subscribed already, I would really appreciate the help. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of public viewing. So if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And if you are a subscriber and can watch a few more videos to help me get to 4,000 public viewing hours, I'd appreciate it. I'm determined to make this happen as soon as possible so I can start to monetize the channel and be able to do even more fun stuff. So I will say good night, and I will see you again soon. Bisous.